see now. I can see you there, Alan. Would you like to join me so we can actually talk? If you would, I'll just send you a, let's have a look here. I'll just send you a little window just to promote you to panelists so you can actually talk to me. You just click on that if you're okay with that. And then we can have a bit of a conversation. So, can you hear me, Alan?
I can, yes, very clearly.
Okay. All right, let's just see if we get the videos going here. To see if we get your video going, just click on the other button there to see if you get the video going. It's always nice to have a conversation.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. If you just want to drop the camera down a little bit. So,
there you go.
There you go. So, Sandy, yeah, I've got one more person here as well. Sandy, if you would like to join us, just click on the the little window that comes up. If you don't want to join us, just ignore it, okay? It'd be nice to hear you. Just have a chat as well if you're up for it. A few other people may join us. They may not. We'll see. Diane's here. Okay. She'll join us. We can get into a bit of a conversation. It's more fun having a conversation.
Indeed.
So nice to meet you, Alan, after our emails.
And you.
Yeah. So,
Get out the window.
yeah. Hi, Diane. How are you? Just click on the video button, video request button there, Diane. Here you go.
Yeah.
How you doing?
To start. I'm all right, thank you. If you can hear me.
Yeah, you're quite clear now.
All right, thank you.
So Sandy, would you like to show your video? You don't have to if you don't want to.
How would I do that?
Let me just press on. I'll send you a little request. You just click on the little box that comes up.
Okay.
It's more fun for you. There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good. It's nice to have some people to talk to here. Sometimes this is one to many in the virtual silence. So I'll just keep an eye. I'm just looking at my other screen here, see if anyone else has come. Okay, so we can do this. So welcome to the intro webinar for the self-contract reading training. So I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension, and seeing it's a small group, maybe if you'd like to tell me a little bit about what drew you here, then I can mould the webinar to what you guys need. Things that these are just a few of us. What drew you here and what you'd like out of this? Then I got some idea whether you've read my book or you had a reading, or so I can pitch things accordingly. So maybe Alan, you're an experienced speaker. Maybe you'd like to start.
Sure. Yeah.
Just briefly, just give me a feel for where you are and what you'd like to know.
I came across it quite by accident. I was working somewhere and someone had done your training course and proceeded to give me a partial reading.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I hadn't come across anything like it before. Although I think it rang a distant bell. I then got your book and read that, and I thought, this is really interesting. And hence, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Diane. Just unmute on the bottom left.
Yes. Well, me, I got interested. I think I came across your book back in 2013, if I remember correctly. And I remember clearly that I couldn't put it down. So I read it basically all the way through and kept on reading it and again and attending. I've attended a lot of your webinars.
Yeah.
Because I got to learn that there's always something to learn. And I've always learned something with every one of them. So hence the reason for me being here. And other than that, obviously, I'm already enrolled for the course next week.
Yeah.
And because my interest grew based on, I think it was about the numerology and the business side of things. And then that's why you told me that actually it's level 3. So I kind of gathered that I needed to do 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to start at the beginning. Okay.
Exactly. So here I am now, again, to learn.
All right. Thank you. All right.
You're
So,
welcome.
hi, Sandy. Welcome. So,
Hi.
what's drawing you here?
So I saw your, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're real loud and clear.
Okay. So I saw your interview on Gaia.
Yeah.
Gaia TV about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I do spiritual response therapy. I was trained to do that about a year ago.
Yep.
And I still don't know why I'm here.
Okay.
And so after watching the interviews with Regina Meredith, I just felt very drawn to your work, and I got your book. And I'm not done with it. I'm really going through the first parts of it.
Yeah.
And I have a little 8-year-old you might see in the back walking around, and it's summer, so it's hard for me to really find time to, read a whole entire book has such depth. But I'm very much drawn to it because I think I know what my purpose is, but I have lots of obstacles, and I just thought, well, maybe this could help me. And because I do the SRT work, this could be a wonderful complement. And so if I'm having this experience of feeling blocked, and I'm able to move through it through this work, then I'd love to be able to work with other people to help them. So, and I was hoping I could do your course next week, but on the 14th I have a board retreat for my son's school, and then that night we're leaving to go on vacation. So anyway, but I was thinking, I think you sent me an email that November might be.
Yeah, we have another one in November. We run them about 3 times a year. So
okay.
So where actually are you? Just out of
I'm in the
interest.
States. I'm in the US. Ohio?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Diane and Ellen are in the UK, so.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. So I'm going to share the screen a little bit and tell you about how this started a bit. Let's get this out of the way here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this work is all about empowering spiritual seekers to manifest their soul purpose, just what you were talking about there, Sandy. And what happened? How did I get into this? What happened was that I was in Japan about 30 years ago, and I received this brochure for this course in Arizona called the Carousel of Growth. And I received it about a year before the next course was due to start in January 1990. And as soon as I picked that brochure up, I could feel the energy of it. It was like, I was at the beginning of my spiritual journey, and it was like, I have to go and meet this guy, Frank Alper, who is the founder of this work. He channeled the interpretations for the soul contract work in the 80s, and it was for my first time in America. I got there eventually about a year later, and I walked into this hotel room where they're holding this workshop, and then I met all these people who seemed very familiar. I felt at home for the first time in my life. And as part of that workshop, Frank was giving private sessions, like me to break in the middle. And so I had what's called a spiritual numerology of Moses reading from him. That's what he called it. I've changed it to this in the UK simply because it's saying a lot more about what it actually is. And I wanted to differentiate the work from conventional numerology because it's quite different. And Frank basically took a Star of David and he put my name on it. my birth name on it. And he just proceeded to explain my entire life in that hour. And that was one of the major turning points in my life. That he had taken all the disparate experiences of my life, all the random things that had been happening when I couldn't make your head nor tail of them, and he put it all into context. He explained why I was here on earth. And I could relax for the first time, and I could feel that my life hadn't gone completely astray. And the result of that is that I said to him, well, when can I learn this? He said, well, we're running this Carousel 2 workshop in 6 weeks' time, and here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to teach it there. So I thought, okay, I'll stay in America. I was going to come to England, you see, after the first one, but I delayed coming to England, and I just stayed with the people I'd met on the course, actually, in the first one, and eventually we got back for the second course. And that's where I learned this work. And then I brought it to England, and I spent the first 4 years learning how to do these readings in my spare time. I had a normal job. And then I started teaching it in 1994. Started bringing it out to the world. And it's taken off from there, really. And I was working a normal corporate job, and then up until about 1997, I realized I couldn't do that anymore. So I left that, made it part-time, and I started doing this work in London. I started giving these readings, and then it gradually took off by word of mouth. There was no internet in the way we know it now in those days. And then I was doing a bit of healing, and this whole business started, the Centre for Conscious Ascension. It wasn't called that till about the early 2000s. It just gradually took off. And I had discovered that what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up my chart for you, and I'll show you. Where are we here? I just have to call the chart up. Yeah. Just have to find my chart on a piece of software here. Here it is. Here it is here. So this is a chart that Frank did for me. You guys are familiar with how to do this, but basically he converted my name to the equivalent Hebrew sounds, and the Hebrew numbers came out of those sounds. Then he decoded them on the Star of David. Yeah. I'll explain a little bit because some people are going to watch this on video later. So if I repeat myself, forgive me for you guys who have read the book thoroughly. But basically, he explained to me that this physical triangle, and analyzing this name that my soul chose, was the formation of my personality, my interface with the outer world. And this upward pointing triangle was the real spiritual purpose, my mission for being here on earth. And within each of these triangles, there were three aspects. It was karma, talents, and goals. And karma being a set of unresolved issues that the soul had brought in for me to turn into, and to feel and bring consciousness to transmute into my gifts. And then the talents were the means of overcoming the karma. And as they got stronger, that would help me move to my physical goals here. All right. And then that's my underlying drive, what excites me about life. Gets me out of bed in the morning in the physical world. So the energy would flow from karma to talents to goals here, and the physical, with the physical orientation. Then in the spiritual triangle, this is the spiritual karma, and this is the means of opening to higher consciousness, to build upon the foundation of the physical triangle and to deliver my gift of service. This is a really important one to work through. And the talents here, if they burn through that successfully, means that my gift comes online if I transmute the karmic pattern. Because most people turn away from their karma. They avoid all the hard stuff in life. So life gets even tougher, as you may have noticed, looking at people around you. And you need to do a lot of healing or spiritual response therapy to burn through these patterns. But this identifies the patterns we need to focus on, so we don't waste our time doing things that we aren't going to work in life, because most people aren't following their contracts. They don't know what it is. So therefore, it gets very challenging in life to make progress. So life can be hard as a result. And as these talents get stronger by working through the karma, that gets me to my spiritual goals here. So the way these numbers are decoded, he was doing this all by hand, Frank, because he just allocated these numbers starting here, like 14, 10, 11, 6, 12, 1, just goes 14, 10, 11, 6, 12, 1. Then we go around again with the remaining ones. You go around in a clockwise spiral. We'll just keep this brief. Then we add the numbers up to these totals here. And because we have 22 Hebrew letters that we use in the system, we need a number between 1 and 22 to have some meaning, because what was happening is that Frank got these interpretations. They channeled to him over about a period of 9 months from the soul of Moses. He was just driving in the desert in Arizona, and this downloads what happened, so he would write it all down. So if we say take a 27 here, that's the total of spiritual karma. That doesn't have any meaning in itself, but if we go T plus 7, that equals 9. So it's a number, first number between 1 and 22, so we know that the left-hand aspect of this is a 9. And then we know there's another number. There's always a pair of numbers here. So we see, can we reduce this anymore? We can't. Like 1 plus 7 becomes an 8 here, but 9 plus something becomes another 9. So we get a double number that sits here. So this is saying my soul said, I need you to focus on a very specific karmic pattern of 9s only, and I don't want you to do anything else. So that's why some parts of our life are very focused that we have to work on, and other parts, like here, the 17, gives me a whole range of energies between a pure 17 and a pure 8 in a positive aspect, plus every blend in between here. So that means I've got more room to maneuver than this one, but I've got no room to maneuver on this. I've got to work this one through. And so we work out all these other numbers accordingly, like this. And if you have any questions as we go through, just put your hand up. Okay. So work all the other numbers out accordingly. Then we pop this physical numbers in the top half of this table, spiritual on the bottom half here, and then we work out total. So total of this column is 63, so 6 plus 3 is 9. Total here is 36, which is 3 plus 6 is 9, and that pops in the middle. And that's my soul destiny, that's the meaning of my life. And all these little channel symbols came through, Frank, and they are like little portals. They're going to tell me what I'm here to do. So this chart was all about showing I'm here to be a communicator and teacher. But first I had to overcome the unworthiness to show myself and express. And writing the book was a major part of overcoming this. And then my karma here, this is a dragon. My karma here to learn to come into my power to transmute a lot of disempowerment from my childhood into positive power to catalyze change in others. And my talents here, the 17 is about the expression of God's word or spirituality in society, which is this grounded, watery energy, emotionally connecting energy. And my physical goals, again, is the same one, is to reach out to people with my work. And the talents here, these are about being very versatile, being able to bring through lots of information from source and share it. This falls about sharing knowledge that comes to you, which is what I do a lot of. And the spiritual goals was, again, to learn to trust in the flow of knowledge and abundance and share that with the world. And if you work through all the 6 outer aspects, what happens, if you're conscious of what they are and you work through them, then you start to achieve your soul destiny, and it's revealed to you layer by layer. It doesn't all come at once. So my soul destiny is to become as conscious as possible and to catalyze others to awaken and manifest their purpose. That's what my destiny is here. So I'm a real catalyst here for people. So when Frank told me that, I just dropped 80% of what I was doing and focused on and trying to work through this contract, because he'd explained everything and I never put it together before. So I was actually had to switch the lights on in my life and was moving forward with much more consciousness and clarity. And so even 27 years on, I still love doing these readings, because just seeing the light switch on in people where they suddenly realize there's a purpose for it. 'Cause most spiritual people just still doubt what I'm actually here to really do. There actually is a real purpose, and by focusing on what's in the contract and aligning to it, it means things start to manifest if you burn through enough of your karmic emotional issues. So this fits very well with healing modalities like SRT, Sandy, because this is the map which is creating the issues your clients are presenting to you as a healer. So when you understand what's in the map, you can get on with it. So you know, okay, they're feeling unworthy today, so therefore this one's creating it. Or they're feeling lack of trust, that one's creating it. So you know which programs to work on, because they're specified. The programs exactly what they are. And the soul will move around the chart depending on what it wants to work on here. So that's why you have certain things happen for a while, then it changes gears and it goes to something else. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sort of a brief summary of how it works. And this is the software we have. This is web-based software. If you want to play with it, it's called soulcontractreader.com. You can get 4 free names on it, or 7 at the moment. It'll get into 4, and you can play with it. It's designed to go with the book, basically. So we go to the presentation here. So
How would you read overlays?
Overlays. I'll show you. Hang on, let me just get back to that chart. Well, why don't we do your name, Alan? That would be a simpler way to explain it. So, let's put your name
Actually,
in here.
on my birth certificate, it's 2 L's, ALLAN.
Okay.
But I've always spelled it with, quite by accident, with just 1 L.
Yeah.
And it was until I met one of your practitioners that explained the difference between them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not 100% sure what the difference is, but I've just been experimenting with the DLL, which was my birth certificate name. I can't hear you.
Yes, it looks like Nicolas is gone.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
How are you, Diane?
Oh yeah, I'm all right. Oh, Nicolas.
Am I back?
Hello? I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, the USB hub played up then. Okay, so let me switch on again. So Alan, what's your middle name?
John.
Okay.
But my birth name has 2 L's, ALLAN.
Okay, I've got that there.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. We won't put your birth date in for confidentiality because this is going on YouTube, this thing, okay? So
Right.
only share what you want to share because it's a public video. So if you're doing a business session and you don't want to share, just tell me and I can edit that bit out. So, okay, so we enter the data in the software here. Then we see your chart here. But to look at overlays, you actually need to look at here. Okay. Right, so for you, Alan, we'll summarize this first chart. Does this chart look familiar? It's just in a different format, the numbers, rather than Star of David. We just have a vertical set of numbers.
It's like yours.
Yeah.
Yes, I recognise that.
You recognise that? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so probably a better way to do this, Alan, is you tell me what questions you have, the key question you have about your life, then I have a starting point. And I can talk about.
Well, I do a very similar thing to you, but I work in a different field. And similarly, I teach and like switch lights on and that kind of thing. So I'm just wondering which is the best name for that. Is it the name that I can't remember why I started spelling it the way I do now, A-L-A-N, rather than what was on.
Or should it just be one L, should it?
Well, that's the way I spell it now.
Yeah.
But actually, I can't remember when I switched.
Let's just put that in. Alan with one L. Get that right?
That's it. Yeah.
Is your current? Is that what you currently use? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I do remember that.
So, your name here, Alan, is all about coming into your power.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a challenging childhood with your parents or at school or authority figures? It's about coming into your power, doing the proper use of your power. And this talent here is really good for working through that because it's positive energy that becomes a negative energy. You're here to catalyze change in people. And like me, you're here to make a difference in society, really be successful and reach people in society.
Exactly.
Which, having looked at your website, it sounds like you're doing a reasonable job at that. You've been doing this for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Quite by accident, about 30 years ago.
At the same time as me, got into this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And you're here to give people a structure of truth and to support them in understanding that structure of truth. Okay. And I'm going to put you on. We're getting a bit of feedback. So, you give them a structure of truth, and you're here as a master teacher. You're here to bring ancient wisdom out of the soul. Can I say what sort of teaching you do to everybody?
Sure.
Yeah. Alan's a feng shui master, and he has quite an influence and worked with a lot of people, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you made a big difference.
Confidential, of course. Especially on videos.
What's that?
All confidential, especially on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I've worked all over the world.
Yeah, and yeah, you've been a leader in your field. This is what this is saying to me. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you've really gone and explored a wide range of spiritual issues and ideas in developing your work and finding your structure. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and there's something very specific you're trying to do with your work. Is that right?
I'd like it to be as common as kind of architecture. Where you have an architecture office in every town, I'd like feng shui to be there.
Yeah.
So
it's a very focused, specific mission you're here to do. That's what it's saying here. Okay.
Pretty much.
And I would say, looking at this chart here, when did you change to this name? When did you go from this one to this one? When was that? How many years ago was that?
Actually, it's only in the last month or so where I've started using an extra L. So ever since I was a child, it was only one L.
Right.
So, and in fact, I was quite surprised when I read my birth certificate some time ago that I had two L's in my name.
Okay. Well,
so it was,
you can. Sorry, go on.
2 L's is about a month, maybe 6 weeks. I think beginning of June, I started experimenting with it.
So you've had
the one L has been 30 years, 40 years, something like that.
with 1L.
Quite a while. 1L, yeah.
We've got to change that around then, haven't we? So it's easy to do. It's our web-based software. It's pretty straightforward to use. So there you go. So this came first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So on the actual level 1 training starting next week, this is the name we teach you we teach you all the interpretations of how that name works. The interpretations by using your friends and family, and we give readings on them. And we go through all the numbers and compare the actual numbers in the manual with actually the reality of someone's subjective life experience. So it's 3 days of pure transmission of the energy, so you start to become the work. So it's not about you learn remembering it, you become it through sitting in the energy field of the workshop. So it goes into your DNA and body and it activates in your fields.
Right.
Then we spend the last 2 days teaching you how to hold space and deliver readings and deliver this real high level of truth to people. So they can then take that truth and go out in the world and change their lives, basically.
Right.
And these overlays are like a layer of icing that feeds into the cake of your life, like this.
Oh, okay.
So I'll find you on the diagram. Let me dig out another picture here. I'll show you a graphic of how that works. Yeah. Just going to find it here. See that? No, that's the wrong one. That's not the one I want. I want to find it. I'll dig it out of here somewhere. Where'd you go? Just find it. Here it is. That'll do. So this is in the level 2 training, which teaches you about how overlays work, which is your own names, but the names of other people in your life, significant people.
Yeah.
So this is like the cake of your life here, Alan. This is your birth chart. This is your current name. I'll say that name was the current name with 2 L's that you had for 30, 40 years or however long it was.
Yeah.
This could be like there's Alan with 1 L and this is Alan with 2 L's. So like different set of frequencies that flow from the same aspect across adjacent aspects. So this could be physical karma. Flows into the physical karma of your birth chart. And but the other what's that?
I was going to say, do they conflate or do they support each other? Is it useful to do?
All of the above. And this could be like your mother's name, which has an impact on you as well.
Yes.
So these can either have a positive, negative, or no effect, depending on the relative power, level of consciousness, and quality of the numbers. Okay. Okay. So going back to your chart here, let's find out. I'm just going to have a little drink here.
Yeah, good idea.
Doing a lot of talking. So what happened here is that in level 2, which is name overlays and relationship overlays. So, because once people figure out how accurate this is with birth names, finding out how an individual's life is, the next thing they ask, well, how do my other names affect me, and how do those close to me affect me? So this name here comes the energy flow across right to left like this. Okay. So let's see what they do. So this name here is about giving you lots of structure for building your business. Okay, building your body of knowledge. So it's evolved out gradually over time, hasn't it? And then got bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. And this 13.4 is the divine feminine aspect of God. This is the pure divine feminine energy, which you're sharing in the world. So you're here to bring a lot of love and heart openness and compassion to the world. Is that what you do?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't look at it like that, but I'm fairly compassionate.
Yeah, you're here to look after people, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and have you been a pioneer, Alan, in what you do?
Yes. Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Have you been a pioneer? It's probably when you first started, especially.
Well, I kind of demystified feng shui. So I did a science degree and converted all of the mysticism into science.
Yeah.
So that was quite pioneering.
So it made some sense to people. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so you can explain it on all levels.
Yeah. So this is about being on the cutting edge, really. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the 6 is about being very focused and creative with it and businesslike. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And the 12-3 is about expanding the body of knowledge. I'd say you've been absorbing lots of knowledge and expanding it, taking it to a higher form. Is that what you've done with it?
I do, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much.
And this is 13-4 again, sharing the knowledge from the heart. Okay.
Yes.
That's what you do. I've got similar
So
energy. Go on.
I noticed that. Yeah. I was so I should keep that name or?
Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. See what this one. You're thinking that you're getting a feeling to go to this one. What triggered you to want to go to this one? 2 L's.
Well, because I thought maybe I understood that as a soul we kind of chose the name that we were going to have in our life, and if I changed it, I wonder if I interfere with the frequency that I should have had. And as I've always been questing or looking for different effects, I thought I'd experiment to see what would happen if I used 2 L's instead of 1. But it's only been a month, 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, the video, the USB is playing. I'm just going to change this USB. Just give me a minute. Hang on. Something's a bit loose. Just a sec. We're going to lose a sound and video briefly from me.
Yeah, no problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so you get this camera.
Yep.
Don't know what's happened to the camera. It's playing up. Just the whole astrological thing at the moment playing up. So
That explains a lot.
yeah, Economics is fine. So just a minute. See if I can get the other camera going. There you go.
Perfect.
So let's share the screen again. Sorry about that, folks. Just technology. Right. So in changing your name to, just got to find my cursor here, to Alan with 2 L's, you change the chart a lot. What you do is you put this 13-4, this unconditionally loving open heart up front.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. I couldn't for a moment.
Yeah, stop that there. I'll keep talking even though you can't see me. I'll come back in a minute. So this here, yeah.
This here is all about, you'll draw more people to you with this name because they'll just trust you more so.
Right.
Okay. And the 5s bring the pioneer here. They'll just be drawn to you and then they'll be drawn to the pioneer here. And the 6 here is all about bringing
Creativity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes, that's fine.
You hear me now? Yeah, just a sec. I have to change the plug. Okay.
That's clearer.
Yeah, let's do that. One more thing here. How about that?
Perfect.
Is that microphone better?
Very clear.
Is that better? Yeah. So, yeah. So you're here to, this all improves, will get you more focused with the business, Alan.
Sorry, what was that?
This will get you very focused business-wise.
Yeah.
Okay, very more grounded up front in the chart. And this 22.4 here is all about accessing source. I have one of these. Accessing source, becoming more versatile in what you do. Okay, and sharing more and completeness with people. And this 13.4 here is again about sharing love. And this 11.2 is always about building. Has your business sort of taken off exponentially now you've been doing it for a while?
Well, it's always got progressively stronger, yeah. But you mean in the last 6 weeks?
Well, no, you had an 11.2 here. You've had it your whole time. But just normally it's like things start slowly, you build a structure, and it gradually accelerates.
Actually, it's maybe as soon as I started off, I was very busy. It tends to start really quickly, really strong, and it carries on from there.
Yeah, that's the 12.3. That's continuous expansion, being busy.
Yeah.
I would say this. Yeah, but if you could take this name, you'll be more chilled out. Okay.
Yeah.
But it'll still build.
Okay.
It's about building a building business, building structures of knowledge, and having emotional support.
Yes.
So people can grasp what you're on about. And the 7's about opening the heart. And I think you'll get bigger groups with this name. More people will be drawn who resonate with what you're doing.
Okay.
With that 7, that's what will happen. But it's
great.
You've got this 5 here, which is a very etheric, spiritual energy in the physical part of the chart. So I would say your name probably needs to be optimized more. It's not quite something like a more physical energy in that part of the chart, because it means you'll need to have function more in your intuition here, okay, in the physical world, which can be a bit challenging. So it needs a bit more work, but I'll put a link up on the email I send you guys to have a look at that. It's not 100%. It's heading in the right direction, but it's not quite strong enough in the physical world with that.
Okay.
Okay. Does that give you a clear idea of overlay? So it's an evolutionary process through time. And
yes, fascinating.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can look at relationships like that and stuff like that as well. You can see why you're in a relationship the way they are, and it gets to the deepest programs that create relationships the way they are. And Sandy, it's really good for raising kids because you know exactly what makes them tick, you see.
Yeah, that's what we do in feng shui. It's all about energy and how it reacts with other people, families and teams and all that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm well used to reading across.
Yeah.
And up and down. And, but fascinating.
So.
Thank you.
Spiritual seekers are those on the path who are trying to find out, well, why they're really here. Just like we're all spiritual seekers, and you ask the classic question, Sandy, how do I connect with and manifest my soul purpose? And that's hidden from us until we awaken a little more. Because we go to sleep, we all go to sleep in the Matrix. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to sleep in the Matrix and we wake up, and spiritual seekers have this strong feeling, there's something important I'm here to do, but I don't quite know what it is. And this work is about, soul-contract work is about answering that question so that people don't waste their time doing things which don't work, to bring them out of the unconsciousness of the human experience and to align them to their soul purpose. And then you can wrap your SRT around this sort of technology, Sandy. And that's what I do. I wrap our technology called Divine Healing, which is similar to SRT, based on kinesiology, around aligning someone to their purpose and helping them work through their specific patterns shown in their karmic patterns, especially. When you know what they are, then you can target the programs much more easily. So it's very good for helping spiritual seekers who are looking for the tools and knowledge to awaken their purpose. And, most of them get very driven to find out, well, what is it and how do I get there? How do I get to my real purpose? Because my life the way it is not really satisfying me. I used to work in a glass box in the city of London 30 years ago, 20 years. How long have I been out of that? 20 years. 20 years? Yeah, I left 20 years ago. What did you used to do, Alan?
I was in printing and publishing.
Yeah.
But I used to print all these share issues for the City of London.
Yeah, I was in communication, satellite communications. And so
right.
I left that to find my purpose, which was to do what I'm doing now.
Pretty much I did too, yeah.
Not happy staying there, you see. And I sought out these tools, which we do have at the Centre for Conscious Ascension, to basically clear my issues so I could get on with my purpose. And my purpose is to help others manifest their purpose and give them the cutting edge tools and the cutting edge map, which is what the soul contract work is about, so they can achieve their purpose. They can find the absolute truth of who they know they are, they can feel it, and give them the tools to actually clean out their karma and everything they have, which is in the way of that purpose. That's what we do here. And,
you're perfectly placed.
What's that?
You're perfectly placed for that, aren't you? To help others.
Yeah.
Well done.
So what happens here is that out of their birth name, you get the blueprint of their life, and you get the call, the absolute truth of what creates each moment in reality. Because we use Hebrew here, which is one of the 5 sacred languages, which comes out of the movement of Great Spirit in the creation of creation. So we're matching the sounds of creation to the birth name, and when you decode those sounds using Hebrew, you find the highest level of truth of what is creating someone's life. But if you understand what that is, then you can flow with it and align with it. Then they can overcome their karma, which most people don't. It gets very tough. And out of that karma, because our karma creates everything we don't like in life initially, as you might have noticed. But if you transmute the karma, then you get the good stuff. You get what you do want. And that's one of the biggest secrets. People don't realize that they need to turn to their karmic pattern and transmute it. I turned into my unworthiness to be loved as a child and transmuted that to be worthy of expressing this wisdom, ancient wisdom out in the world. Okay, and they can express their talents, achieve their goals, and manifest their purpose. And for a light worker, manifesting their purpose is the most important thing. And so many struggle to get there that they're looking for whatever tools they can find to do that. And the soul contract basically allows you, you've seen how it works with Alan there and me, if you're a therapist, counsellor, coach, or a facilitator, it gives you the tool for your clients' lives. And so they and you have an immediate and profound understanding of their issues. So it means you can focus on the 20% of things that matter and don't worry about the rest for now. Key things that actually matter in their life. And so it's a very accurate guide to help you in your work with them. So with my clients, the ones who turn up for me are very driven, very focused, very conscious, really want to make their lives happen. They're the professionals. They really want to change it. Most of them are therapists or facilitators. Okay. And I can help them get there a lot quicker with this work. And it also builds a lot of trust because, as you just saw, Alan, I saw with Alan that Alan and I have had a few email conversations, but I've understood your life immediately just by looking at that and what you're doing. And it builds trust with clients, so then they realize that this is so accurate that I have to have more, and I want to flow with this because why would I do anything else if I have this?
That's right.
Approach. And so they can get there faster, and they can get to, cut to the chase of what's really important in their lives. And by transmitting this vastly highly conscious truth to someone, it basically burns through their ego. So our ego holds us in this illusion of who we think we are, none of which is true. And when you do this work, it basically melts the ego because it can't handle the higher consciousness of truth. And so therefore it dissolves that. And once we dissolve it, what then happens is the true essence of someone, the soul essence, comes through to express itself. And the clearer you are, your ego is, the more soul essence that can come through, the more quickly you're going to manifest your purpose, because manifestation comes from soul energy transmitting higher consciousness coming through you, through your soul, out into the world. And that's actually what manifests it. We're sort of like movie projectors or computer projectors. The program's coming in and transmitting through us. And if we clean the lens enough of our ego, then life will manifest for us. But if we have a dirty lens because our ego is blocking it, then we don't get so much good stuff initially. Okay. This is about cleaning the lens in the fastest possible way. All right. So, and this integrates really well with other therapies and modalities and working with people, because basically it acts as your highest level framework, and you can plug in all the other modalities like feng shui or SRT or divine healing in my case, and you focus what you're doing very specifically depending on what their soul's presenting. You see, the soul's doing this now. I can see that program's doing it. Therefore I've got these other tools. I know where to exactly put them. So it's very precise targeting. There's no guesswork. It's just you can customize everything. And the client said, how does Alan know that? How does he? Because you might discover this client has unwillingness to be loved, which is the problem with because there's a problem, with their love life, and you know what to do in feng shui about that. So that's an important focus because it's in their karma. And that's the thing that's going to be in their face the most. And that's the one that hurts the most. So you can actually change, you see, stuff like that. Because you said to me in your email, Alan, that you read my book, and half your life comes from what is created in your life comes from the soul contract. The rest comes from the space you're in, which will be feng shui.
That's right.
And Vastu comes in. So if you get the two, then someone's going to have a completely different life. You sort both of those out.
Yeah.
You see.
In fact, that's what I found with feng shui. You can balance the energy of now and perhaps slightly in the future, but really, in terms of involving soul's destiny, that's really interesting. That you can really inspire clients to fulfill their goals.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to achieve their goals, and so when they realize how powerful these tools are, they're just going to go for it. Because why would you do anything less?
Exactly. I thought putting the two together could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Hence I'm here.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Indeed. That's why I started sending you emails.
That's what you do. A lot of practitioners, they come along and they integrate this. They learn how to do this, and they integrate it with their own practice, and they adapt it and focus what the other things they're doing, even more so. So with the training, it basically gives you a structure to help you understand yourself and everyone else in your life, which means improves relationships. I raised my teenager this way. He chose his name, obviously, before he was born, but understanding it, that enabled us to flow with him from the very beginning. So he feels that we really understand him, you see. And basically, it teaches you how to give readings based on people's birth names using these 22 letters, and how to open your channel, your intuition up. We spend a lot of time doing that. And as I said earlier, it's an experiential workshop where it's complete immersion in interpretations of the chart. So that's why we spend those first 3 days working on friends and family. And then the subjective sharing of that transmits to the class what that number really means. What does the 3, what does unworthiness really mean? What does 9 and disempowerment really mean? And so, and it's a remembering and awakening of actually what you already know. You've just got to access it. Okay? And we teach you how to hold space to deliver this truth to people, because it's very powerful to hear this truth. So they've got to feel in a safe held space to do that. We have ongoing professional development. We have Facebook support groups. We have masterclasses, and we have a mentoring program, okay, which runs with that. We have quite a busy community. And this is sort of typical things people get. They get a deep feeling of peace because you've just got to put all the pieces of their life into place. They can see. Now, most people sort of doubt about their experience, thinking, "Gosh, should I have been doing something else?" But actually, when you explain it, they can see all the disparate pieces fit together for a reason, and then they can flow with their life rather than being at the mercy of it. And they can see there's meaning to it, and they can move. Some can move from feeling like victims of life, that stuff's been done to them, to actually taking charge and stepping forward, coming into their power, and living their true purpose. Okay. That's a big shift for a lot of people. They realize that their name is creating their life in each moment. So therefore, if that's happening, therefore they can change it. Whereas previously they might have felt life was doing stuff to them. They were a victim of it. And when you're in that state, it's very hard to make a change because you don't think you have any power. So we teach you how to show people where they're on the spiritual map of life, and we have specific recommendations on how they can overcome the challenges which are in their face in the moment, because the challenges change over time. And you learn how to align them to their life purpose and how to manifest it. I mean, this is the big thing light workers are after. And it really touches people at a deep level. It bypasses all the ego illusions, builds a deep trusting connection, and they can go very deep in their work with you. And you can open to a deeper level of yourself, because you see that some people can't help themselves doing what they do because we're all programmed in a certain way. But if you can help them become conscious of it, then they can gradually start to change it, the process. It's very much empowering people into higher consciousness here. And then they can deliver their gift, whatever it is, to the world. I'll just put you on mute briefly on while we're still talking, because we hear all background noise. So you actually prepare and give readings in the group. You practice on each other in the last 2 days. And so we design it in such a way that people deliver good readings from the beginning. Okay? It didn't used to be like that, but we figured out how to do the transmission. So people can leave the workshop, be able to give reasonably good readings, practice on a few family and friends for a while, then they can actually start doing it for a living. That's actually what happens with the course. But they've got to practice, though. That's the main thing, you see. But people are doing pretty well. So the next workshop's next week for you guys and for the guys watching. We run them 3 times a year, sort of spring, summer, and autumn. It's 12th to 16th of July, and we do it live in Surrey, but we also use Zoom web conferencing, which is what we're using now, because majority of the students are actually overseas, especially in North America. So we sort of start at 12:45 UK time, 7:45 Eastern time in the morning, and 4:45 Pacific time. But people like that because they don't have to fly for this. So workshops runs from California all the way out to Asia sometimes, the workshop in Australasia, or at least to Western Europe. So if you're interested in coming, the deposit's £229, or about $300 US. Full exchange is £616, about $800 US. You can register by going to soulcontractreadingtraining.com. Now this is for those who feel a strong urge. This is a soul callings work. If you want to come, and I've been teaching this for, how long have I teaching this now? 23 years. I still love teaching this because it's just sending my practitioners out in the world to awaken others, and that's just the biggest high I get. I know. Do you have that, Alan, when you're teaching your practitioners, just seeing them change other people's lives?
In fact, I've been doing it for about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So another coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And actually, one of the greatest rewards I get is when they go create or change someone's life by some work they've done for them.
Yeah.
But, really turn their fortunes around, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. So you're able to transmit it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Able to go out and put it to practice. So where in Surrey is it?
We're in Walton on Thames. Where actually are
Okay.
you? You're in the southeast?
Where are you?
Where are you?
I'm in Rochester.
Okay.
Rochester. South.
Yeah.
Kings.
we're in the southeast, so it's in person, or you can do it from home like this, and then you don't have to travel at all. But I like seeing people in person as well. But some people,
Yeah, me too.
when you come.
Sure.
So, people, any questions on that? That's just sort of an overview of what this work is about. I'll just stop sharing so I can see you a bit more. Any questions? Sandy, you got any questions? You can unmute you if you want. It's far away.
I don't have any questions. I wish I could do this next week. The main day that I wouldn't be able to, so I would have to definitely attend every day, right? I couldn't catch up if I missed a day.
Tell me the times, which day?
So next Friday, I'm gone the whole entire day. Yeah, because it would be 7:45 my time, I think, until 3:30.
Yeah.
And so I would be gone the whole time. And then that Saturday.
Yeah, it's a bit too long. An hour or two you can cope with, because it's a transmission. It's not just data. You've got to be in the field, you see.
Got it.
Yeah, I think it'll have to be a bit later, I think, to handle that.
Okay.
Yeah. The time will be right. Okay.
Okay.
So have you got the November date?
Yeah, you sent it to me. I don't remember. I don't recall it because I was just excited to attend this. I was more focused on this.
On top of my head, I think it's the 13th.
Yeah. It's far enough in advance that
I'll email it to you. Well, I think you got them. I think I sent those ones to you. So.
Yeah, I do have them. I just don't remember them off the top of my head. You did send them. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Well, Diane, you're coming anyway, so.
Yes, I am coming. I wanted to ask you though, how do you know which cycle the people are in? You know, based on the age.
It's 7-year cycles. So every 7 years you move to a different phase of the cycle doing this work. And so you can tell from that how someone's progressing. Like the wake up time for most people is between 35 and 42 or younger nowadays. A lot younger in the 20s or teenage years. But they used to be called the midlife crisis, 35 to 42. Most people are seriously into their spiritual mission after 42. Okay. But younger ones have burned through a lot of this stuff by in their 20s. They're underway because they had a lot less karma than people in their 40s and 50s, because the things that are accelerating on earth enormously fast. God sends a lot of light workers to earth. There's 300 or 400 million of us spiritual seekers on earth. And the purpose of this work is to wake up as many of them as possible, because they're not all going to wake up. They're going to get caught in the illusions of the ego and life, and they can be lost. But most of them are striving to wake up, and this tool's like, switch the lights on. Here's where you're meant to go. And when people see it, they go, that's it. And they get on with it, which is the whole purpose of this. This is why, this has come to earth, and I've been doing this. I've been doing my best to preserve this knowledge in English here, to actually help as many people come online as possible.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it, Cindy.
So if you're doing a chart off of somebody's name, how can you tell, and so maybe I didn't get far enough into the book, but how can you tell where they're at in the moment and what struggles they're having in the moment?
What you do is you look at what's your birth certificate name, Sandy?
It's the name that you see up there.
Yeah.
And my middle name is Angela or Angela.
Okay. So what's the original name? Is it Italian or?
Yes, my parents are Sicilian, from Sicily. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a quick look at your chart and I'll show you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let me just go through this.
I was the only child named, my first name being Americanized. on my birth certificate.
What about your surname? Is that Americanized, or is it still in Italian? Sicilian?
This is, yeah, Gilanza is my maiden name. I kept my maiden name. I never changed it. That's my father's name. It was never changed. If that, does that answer? The middle name was Angela, Angela.
Okay, so that's pronounced the Italian way or the English way?
That's how my mom and dad, I mean, nobody in the States ever uses my middle name, but that I was named after my aunt. And there's an extra I in after the double, it's Giall, but I think it says I instead of L.
Really important, that extra L.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get my Italian dictionary and work this out for you just a second. My Italian dictionary. So Sandy's American English. Angela is Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just look up my phonetic dictionary. Because this is a Hebrew English to Hebrew translation matrix. So we have to convert the Italian into phonetic English. So with that, we need to put an AH in there to make it. Most English names are fine. Doing it this way. We need to do this because it's Italian. Angela. Give me a couple of minutes and we'll have it sorted out for you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Are you finished?
Who's that?
It's my little guy. The last name, actually, the spelling is misspelled. I don't know if that matters. On the current name, it's spelled properly, but on this little window that's opened, there's the extra, the second I should be deleted.
It should be Gilanza.
Yeah. And so Italian, the G-I-A is a J sound, so it's Gilanza, and the Z is an S.
Yeah, that's what I got here, Gilanza. I think it's like this, like that. Gilanza, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that the Z is more of an S.
It could be a double S. Gilanza. It's like a long S.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Gilanza.
Gilanza.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Just making sure. There's a lot of words in Italian here. Yeah, it's actually a T. It's Gilanza. Is that right? Gilanza?
Yeah, yeah. You sound like my dad.
Gilanza. Gilanza. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Gilanza. I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let's recommend consent here. Today's date here. And we can generate your chart. Okay, let's take a look. So, do you find it hard being here on Earth, Sandy? You rather avoid society and people? They're just a bit too intense. This is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got the right chart. And do you like to hide away from people because it doesn't feel safe to come out in the world?
I mean, I'm very social, maybe more so when I was younger, but it's very taxing on me.
Yeah. Is there are there two parts of you? Do you put on a facade, okay, to hide the real you, and you only show the real you to those close to you that you trust?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's what this guy here is. And have you been going around in circles trying to find out what to do?
Completely.
Yeah, we got the right chart. Okay. All right. So the way you to answer your question, this is a long answer to your question here, is that the way you determine yeah, I'm going to mute you all just until actually it should be okay. I'm just getting a bit of background noise, so don't move anything around, Sandy, because it'll pick up everything. Okay. The way you can tell how far someone's progressed through the chart is that initially the numbers here, you get the negative aspects of it, like karma, all the karmic stuff. It's like avoiding society, avoiding people, not wanting to be here on Earth. And as you work through this issue of grounding here on Earth, coming into your body, then you start to reach out to people. You start to feel more emotions. Okay? All right, that's what the 8 is here. And this energy here is good at working, helping you work through that. Okay? There's a positive 8. So basically, it's through the actual reading itself that you can tell how far someone's got through all these 6 aspects. Okay, what happens is that over time, that's time along the bottom. And this is percentage complete. Over time, you gradually, each aspect you actually work through. Whoops, it's gone a bit higher. It works through time. You progressively work through each of these aspects. And it's only through the dialogue with your client you actually figure out how far they got through it, because each of these 6 aspects on the outside here, people are running through one of these charts, and how far they progress is going to come from the conversation, and your job is to help them see, well, what's the soul focusing on at the moment, okay? And then you can help them take their next step. And that's what the readings do. They say, I'm here, Sandy, what do I do? And you say, it's because of this. I say the spiritual karmic 7. Your job here is to heal the wounded heart from childhood, okay, Sandy, and then drop the facade and show your real self. And to learn as you show your real self, what happens then is that you will be authentic. And as you're authentic, that will draw others to you who will open their hearts and be authentic with you. Does that sound familiar? You have to unmute there.
Very.
Yeah. That's saying you're here to work with people and be very authentic on the spot. Okay. So you can tell through that conversation how far they got. Then what you're doing is you're providing in each of these 6 aspects the next step for someone. And as you provide it, and they take that step, and after that you provide the next one, so they can progress in manageable chunks and work through their issues in their life. So you give them people at the coalface of life, you give them the next step, they make progress, and they start to believe in themselves, and they realize that the system is very accurate. And they take the next step, and before they know it, they look back, their life's totally changed. And because they followed the map you shared with them, you see. I mean, when I started this work, I was a completely different person. I was very much in my left brain, very numbed out from the trauma of childhood. And I wasn't very good at running my business. I wasn't very good with money. I got into a lot of debt starting this business up. But through working through my chart, one day at a time, through the big challenges, because I knew what was going on, I transformed that. And when I shared the knowledge of this work with my book, that's when things really started to turn around. That's when business got better, and I could teach more people. And then that's when things started to get a lot better. But because I knew the pathway and I took it step by step, I just had to be patient, and it all came to pass, you see. Does that help answer that question, Sandy? You have to unmute.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, people? No. So we do have a little prize draw. Okay. One of you guys gets a 1 hour free reading with me, and so my feeling is that it's for you, Sandy, because you've just come to this work, okay, and really seeking answers. So we can talk about that later. We can email each other and we'll set up a time. So I can give you a full reading, and then you need to go and think about what questions you want to ask about your life, okay? So did you, yeah, just send me another email, okay, to make sure it's you, okay, because I don't think you use the same name you've got now. You maybe use a different name, okay, or different last name, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
We can set that up, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So, any final questions, people? Can't hear you, Alan. You have to unmute. Bottom left if you're on a Windows machine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Start again.
Is there a curriculum for the training next week?
In what sense? What do you?
Do you have a list of what the lesson structure is for next week?
I've pretty much given it to you, really. It's more. It's over 5 days. I'll run through it to you again. It's basically the book you have. What's that? The book you have is based on the manual for the workshop.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah,
everything in the book is covered.
Yeah.
You know, but actually, we cover some other aspects of the interpretations which aren't in the book, which can only really be talked about. You can't actually put it in the public domain. Okay.
All right.
But pretty much, we will cover the meaning of the 22 numbers in great depth in terms of their position in karma, talents and goals and soul destiny.
Okay.
And then through direct readings that we give based on friends and family, and then we talk about how to actually structure a reading and hold space for a client to deliver this high level of truth so they can cope with it.
Okay.
Then we spend quite a bit of time on that, and you practice. You get a couple of readings each. You practice in pairs, and you give readings to each other, so you can then take that transmission and actualize it and start putting it in motion in your energy field. And that's essentially the course. And out of the end of that, you will be able to deliver readings.
Great. Well, I do this for a living.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. That's why you're seriously asking the questions. So this is what we do.
Sure. Great. I'm very interested. I've just got to rearrange my schedule, which I'll get working on, and I'll confirm early next week. Is there still spaces left?
Yeah, there's still space left. You know, it's just come along and you know, just you can see on the website, soulcontractradio.com. Just probably have to pay the full fee at this stage.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Tigany Langley, our training admin, she'll sort out all the logistics. And then, do you want to come in person, or do you want to come online? Or
yeah, I'll come in person.
Yeah.
Presumably, you can park there.
Yeah, you can park there. It's no problem.
Great. Yeah, I'm very interested.
Yeah. Okay. It'd be lovely to see you.
And you.
So, thank you, Sandy or Diane. Any final questions? I'm going to see you next. Are you coming in person, Diane, or you're online?
No, I'll be online.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, Alan, it'll be a combined workshop. There'll be people online and people in person. So
okay,
that's how we actually do it. So you need to bring your laptop along. So,
I don't have to leave the car then. I can just sit in the car with my laptop.
No. I want to see you in person. Meet you, real human being. You know, and to see these other guys online, you need to actually have your laptop. So
great.
We're on a sort of hybrid workshop. Okay. Sandy, you got any final questions? Are you okay?
I don't. Thank you.
Okay. All right, people. Thank you for your time and total engagement.
Thank you, Nicolas.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next week, Alan. And Sandy, you just email me and we'll set up a time. And then we will, I'm taking a couple of days off. Actually, if you email me by the weekend, I'm still teaching this weekend. Then we can sort something out for you. Okay, Sandy?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you, Diane and Alan, next week. That'd be great.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have lots of water, don't have any other commitments because it's very energetically demanding. Okay, the transmission. No clubbing or anything like that because you won't have the juice. You just need to soak in the energy. I just say that because some people do. They want to go off and do other things, but they discover they can't. So,
Is there any particular reason why it's at odd times?
it's because it's so Californians can get up at
Oh, of course. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
4:45.
Yeah.
So a lot of people from the West Coast come on the workshop at times. It varies.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's all English people. A lot of the times it could be one English person in England and everyone else is overseas. You never quite know who's going to turn up.
Yeah, sure. Great.
That's why the time is designed to spread from West Coast of California out to Austria, or so that's reasonable. So that goes to about 9:30 in edge of Eastern Europe, and most people can handle that time frame.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, good to know.
Okay.
Thank you, Nicholas.
I'll send you the video later. Okay. And
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Nicolas. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you.